Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I'm here to talk about Jalin Turner versus Renato Moicano. My pick for this fight is Jalin Turner wins by knockout in rounds 1 or 2. But I will wait to see the props because I'll bet on every weakness I see here with these guys. Renato Moicano is definitely the better grappler, but he doesn't have the wrestling of the guys who beat Jalin Turner with wrestling, like Matt Fravola and Mateusz Gamrot, certainly these beasts who just keep going. And of course, he lost a split decision in his last loss to Dan Hooker, which was an amazing fight, back and forth. But Dan Hooker definitely won that fight with grit. Renato Moicano's got grit and heart and everything else. He's got it all, but I have doubt in his chin. And I have doubt in Jalin Turner's chin as well. But Moicano's been knocked out by better fighters, but smaller fighters. Rafael Fiziev, Jose Aldo. Every now and then I'll drop a Jose Aldo because that's what I called him for the first 5 years that I was a fan of his. And then that's what everybody called him. And he was also knocked out by the Korean Zombie. Featherweights and lightweights, nobody nearly as big as Jalin Turner. Those guys are actually all about 5'7", 5'8", 3 inches shorter than Moicano, as opposed to Jalin Turner, who's like 4 inches taller than Moicano and should probably be fighting at light heavyweight. But uh, Jalin Turner's got a questionable chin as well. He's been knocked out a few times. Vicente Luque knocked him out. It's a little forgivable, especially when Vicente Luque was really Vicente Luque. And that one was 5 years ago or so. But that's his last knockout loss. Still, though, he's been knocked out a few other times. This guy, Ronnie Borgia, knocked him out. I saw that one. He legitimately knocked him out. And then he had this other fight where he was TKO'd in round 3. I didn't see that one. But I guess I could assume it didn't happen standing up, it would be wrong to assume that it happened standing up, but I don't know what it looked like. Having said that, though, he also has an amateur loss that happened 13 seconds into round 3. So I'm thinking that one was on the feet, and it's listed as a knockout, although Sherdog has the same result listed twice. So maybe he lost twice by knockout in 13 seconds, but I'm thinking it was just once. Either way, it's another half a strike against his chin, even if it happened fucking 20 years ago. But the thing is, as far as their striking prowess goes, or their danger, Jalin Turner's got all of it, and Renato Moicano, despite being criminally underrated as a striker, he doesn't have the danger. He just doesn't. I mean, he's knocked guys down. That's how he submitted Cub Swanson, but he's he hasn't produced one knockout finish. And I always say this every time I break down a Renato Moicano fight. He's got the best striking out of anybody who doesn't have a single TKO finish from any possible way. But as good as his striking is, I don't know if he's got the power to go through Jalin Turner, and that's what you need. I do. Maybe he can chop him up with leg kicks like he was doing to Calvin Kattar, which was one of his best victories in Renato Moicano. But I think really the only path through Jalin Turner, there's two paths through him: wrestling him and slowing him down like Matt Fravola and Mateusz Gamrot did, or knocking him out like these other guys did, or I guess out dogging him like Dan Hooker did. But I don't think Renato Moicano has the firepower to go through the chin, and I don't think he's got the wrestling, certainly not that relentless wrestling of like a Matt Fravola or Mateusz Gamrot to control Jalin Turner. What he does have, though, is much better control if he does get a takedown. If Renato Moicano is able to take Jalin Turner down, he's got a good chance of controlling him, wrapping his legs around him, taking his back, and maybe being the first guy to submit him. That's something that was missing from those other guys. But Renato Moicano's got one of the best rear naked chokes in the sport. So he's got advantages, but overall, I don't think he's going to be able to make the most of them. And I think on the feet, even though Jalin Turner isn't smaller and as sharp as those featherweights, so as fast as those featherweights that were able to clip Renato Moicano, he still covers a lot of ground with that reach and that height, and he's got way above average danger. So I will bet on Jalin Turner, probably, if the odds are good, winning by knockout in round 1 and 2. And I might even bet on Renato Moicano winning by knockout if the odds are astronomical, like I expect them to be, and like anybody would make them if they looked at their records. But the primary weakness for each guy is the chin, and whatever. I might sprinkle bets against that, but again, the pick is Jalin Turner wins. He's got the weak chin, but he's also got the firepower to go through Renato Moicano's weak chin. So Jalin Turner knockout is the pick. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit. Check out my other videos.